An ex-mafia boss hires a maid for his dying daughter, desperate to make her final days peaceful. He has 7 days, maybe less. The maid arrives with a calm he doesn't understand, and a warmth that shouldn't exist in a house shadowed by death. She sings gospel hymns. She plants a garden of hope. She makes his broken daughter smile for the first time in months. But when a phone call reveals her past, everything shatters. She lost her teenage son 5 years ago, murdered in a gang shooting. His gang, his territory, his war. And she knew. She knew exactly who he was from the moment she walked through his door. So why did she come? Why would a grieving mother care for the daughter of the man who destroyed her world? As his daughter's heart fails and old enemies close in, he's forced to confront an impossible truth. Forgiveness can come from the most unexpected places. But can a man haunted by blood find redemption before time runs out? And what will it cost him to accept grace from the one person he can never repay? The doctor's words hang in the air like smoke. 7 days. Maybe less. I stare at Dr. Harris across his mahogany desk. His mouth moves, but I hear nothing else. Just those 2 words. 7 days. My daughter has 7 days to live. Mr. Morelli, I know this isn't what you wanted to hear, Dr. Harris says. His voice is gentle. Too gentle. But Leah's heart is failing faster than we anticipated. I grip the armrests of my chair. My knuckles turn white. There must be something, I say. My voice sounds distant, like it belongs to someone else. Another specialist, a surgery, anything. Dr. Harris shakes his head. He looks tired. We've exhausted every option. I'm sorry. I stand. The room tilts slightly. 7 days. The number burns in my chest. How do I tell her? I ask. You don't have to. Children often know. Dr. Harris pauses. Spend the time you have. Make her comfortable. That's all we can do now. That's all we can do. The phrase tastes like ash in my mouth. I leave without saying goodbye. The hospital hallway stretches endlessly before me. Fluorescent lights buzz overhead. Everything feels wrong. Sharp. Too bright. Outside, rain begins to fall. The mansion sits on the cliffs overlooking the Atlantic. I bought it 5 years ago. After Maria died. After I left the life behind. The life. That's what we called it. The family. The business. The blood. Now I live alone with Leah and Mrs. Russo, my housekeeper. The house echoes with emptiness. 30 rooms and nobody to fill them. I stand in the driveway and stare up at the stone walls. Somewhere inside, Leah waits for me. She'll ask how the appointment went. She'll smile. She always smiles. 7 days. My chest tightens. I can't go inside yet. I walk to the cliff's edge instead. The ocean crashes against the rocks below. Dark water. Endless and cold. Maria used to love this view. She'd stand here for hours, watching, waiting for something I could never see. Find me a house where I can hear the waves, she'd said. So I did. 3 months later, she was gone. Heart attack, no warning, just gone. Now Leah, my little girl, the only good thing I ever made. 7 days. I close my eyes. The rain soaks through my jacket. I don't move. God, I whisper. The word feels foreign on my tongue. If you're there, if you're real, please. The wind howls. The waves crash. Nothing answers. Mrs. Russo meets me at the door. Her face is pinched with worry. She's been with me for 15 years. She knows. How is she? Mrs. Russo asks. The same, I lie. Mrs. Russo's eyes search mine. She doesn't believe me, but she nods anyway. There's something else, she says. The new maid arrives tomorrow. The one from the agency. I forgot to mention it earlier. I wave my hand. Fine. Whatever. Her name is Grace Daniels. She comes highly recommended. I don't care, I say. My voice comes out harsher than I intend. Mrs. Russo flinches, but she recovers quickly. Leah's been asking for you? She says softly. I nod. I take off my wet jacket and hang it by the door. Then I climb the stairs. Leah's room faces the ocean. Maria insisted on it. So she can see the sunrise, she'd said. I push open the door. Leah lies propped against pillows. Her skin looks too pale, too thin. The monitor beside her bed beeps steadily. Daddy! She brightens when she sees me. Antonio felt something break inside him. I cross the room and sit on the edge of her bed. I take her small hand in mine. It feels like paper, fragile, temporary. "How was the doctor?" she asks. "Boring," I say. I force a smile. "He talked too much." Leah giggles. The sound is weak, but real. "Did he say I can go outside soon?" My throat tightens. "Maybe. We'll see." "I want to see the garden," she says. "Mrs. Russo says spring is coming." It is. "Will the flowers bloom before—" She stops. Her eyes find mine. Something shifts in her expression. "Never mind." She knows. Dr. Harris was right. She knows. "Leah, it's okay, Daddy." Her voice is soft. "I'm not scared." How can she say that? She's 10 years old. She should be scared. I'm terrified. "I love you," I say. The words feel inadequate, useless. "I love you too." She squeezes my hand. "Will you stay until I fall asleep?" "Always." I sit beside her as the room darkens. The ocean outside turns from gray to black. Storm clouds gather on the horizon. Leah's breathing slows. Her hand relaxes in mine. I stare out the window at my reflection. Rain streaks down the glass. Lightning flashes in the distance. 7 days. I close my eyes and make a promise I don't know how to keep. I'll find a way. Morning comes too fast. Gray light filters through the curtains. I barely slept. I'm in the kitchen when Mrs. Russo hurries in. Her face is flushed. "She's here," Mrs. Russo announces. "The new maid." I look up from my coffee. "Who?" "Grace Daniels, remember? She's early." "I don't care about housekeepers. Not today, not ever." "Fine. Show her around. Get her started." Mrs. Russo hesitates. "Don't you want to meet her?" "No." "Mr. Morelli." I said no. My voice is sharp. Mrs. Russo presses her lips together, but she leaves without arguing. I finish my coffee in silence. Through the window, I watch the sea. It looks calmer today. Deceptive. I hear her before I see her. A low, rich voice. Humming. The sound drifts through the hallway. A gospel tune. My mother used to sing something similar, years ago, before everything went dark. I follow the sound. She stands in the foyer, unpacking a small suitcase. She's tall, elegant. Her skin is deep brown. Her hair is pulled back in a simple bun. She looks up when I enter. Her eyes are warm, unafraid. "Mr. Morelli," she says. She doesn't smile, but something in her expression feels kind. "I'm Grace Daniels." "I know." I cross my arms. "Mrs. Russo will show you what needs doing." "Of course." She straightens. "I'm sorry about your daughter. Mrs. Russo told me." My jaw tightens. "I don't need your pity." "It's not pity," Grace says. Her voice is steady. "It's compassion. There's a difference. Nobody talks to me like that. Nobody dares. But something stops me from lashing out. Maybe it's the way she holds my gaze. Calm, unshakable. "Do your job," I say finally. "Stay out of my way." "Yes, sir." She turns back to her suitcase. I leave before she can say anything else. That afternoon, I find Grace in Leah's room. Panic surges through me. "What are you doing here?" I demand. Grace looks up from where she sits beside Leah's bed. Leah is awake, smiling. "Mrs. Russo asked me to bring fresh linens," Grace says. "Leah and I were just talking." "I like her, Daddy," Leah says. "She tells good stories." Antonio's breath caught. "She needs rest," I say. "Not stories." "Rest is good," Grace agrees. "But so is joy." I open my mouth to argue, but Leah's face stops me. She looks brighter, more alive than she has in weeks. "Please, Daddy, let her stay." Leah's voice is pleading. "Just a little longer." I look at Grace. Her eyes find mine. There's no challenge there, just patience. "Fine," I mutter. 10 minutes. I turn to leave. Behind me, I hear Grace begin to hum again, that same gospel tune, and then Leah joins her. Soft, tentative, but there. My chest tightens. I close the door and lean against the hallway wall. I stand there for a long time, listening. Dinner is quiet. Mrs. Russo serves roasted chicken and vegetables. I eat alone in the dining room, like always. Halfway through, Grace enters with a tray. "I'm taking this up to Leah," she says. "Unless you'd prefer to eat with her?" The question surprises me. No, she should rest." "She's lonely," Grace says simply. The words hit harder than they should. I said no. Grace nods. She doesn't argue. She just leaves. I stare at my half-empty plate. The chicken tastes like nothing. Later, I pass by Leah's room. The door is slightly open. I pause. Inside, Grace kneels beside the bed. Her hands are folded. Her eyes are closed. She's praying. The sight makes me angry, irrationally angry. Prayer didn't save Maria. It won't save Leah. I shove the door open. Grace's eyes snap up. "What are you doing?" I demand. "Praying," Grace says. She stands slowly. "For Leah." "Don't," I say. My voice is low, dangerous. "Faith doesn't fix death." "No," Grace agrees. "But it fixes the living." "Get out." Grace studies me for a moment. Then she nods. She walks past me without another word. In the bed, Leah stirs. "Daddy?" I force my breathing to steady. "Go to sleep, sweetheart." "Why did you yell at Grace?" "I didn't yell." "You did." Leah's voice is sad. "She was just praying." "Prayer is useless," I say. The words come out bitter. "Mommy used to pray," Leah whispers. Antonio felt his chest tighten. "I know. Did you stop believing after she died?" The question is so direct, so painfully honest. "Yes," I admit. "I did." Leah is quiet for a long moment. Then she says, "Maybe that's why you're so sad all the time." I have no answer for that. I kiss her forehead and leave. The next morning, I find Grace in the garden. She's digging in the dirt with a small trowel. The sun is just rising. "What are you doing?" I call from the terrace. "Planting seeds," Grace says. She doesn't stop working. "For Leah." "What?" "She asked if we could make a hope garden." Grace looks up. "Flowers. To watch them grow." "That's pointless." "Maybe." Grace returns to her work. "But it gives her something to look forward to." I descend the steps. I stand at the edge of the garden bed. Grace has already prepared several rows. "She's dying," I say flatly. "She won't see them bloom." "Maybe not." Grace's voice is calm. "But she'll see them planted." That's something. I want to argue, to tell her to stop wasting time. But something holds me back. "What are you planting?" I ask instead. "Marigolds, zinnias, sunflowers." Grace dusts off her hands. "Things that grow fast, things that bring light." She wants me to help, I say. It's not a question. She does. "I don't know how to plant flowers." "Neither did I," Grace says. "Before I learned." Something shifts in her expression. A softness. A memory. I kneel beside her. The dirt is cool under my hands. Grace hands me a packet of seeds. "Just dig a small hole," she says. "Not too deep. Drop in a few seeds. Cover them gently." I do as she says. It feels strange, foreign, like I'm playing a game I don't understand. But then Leah's voice comes from above. "Daddy, you're helping." I look up. She's at her window, waving. Her face is radiant. Antonio's breath caught again. I wave back. Then I plant another seed. Grace smiles beside me. She doesn't say anything. She just keeps working. We spend the next hour in silence. Digging, planting, covering. When we finish, Grace wipes her brow. "She'll love this," Grace says. "If she lives long enough to see it," I mutter. "She will," Grace says. Her voice is certain. "You'll see." I don't believe her. But I want to. That evening, Leah insists I join everyone for dinner. The staff, Mrs. Russo, Grace. "I want a family dinner," Leah says from her wheelchair, "like we used to have." I don't remember ever having family dinners. Not really. But I agree anyway. We gather in the smaller dining room. Mrs. Russo made her special pasta. The smell fills the room. Warm. Rich. Grace sits across from me. She bows her head briefly before eating. A quick, silent prayer. I look away. "Tell us a story, Grace," Leah says. Her eyes are bright. Eager. Grace laughs. "What kind of story?" "A funny one. About when you were little." Grace thinks for a moment. Then she begins. "When I was 7, my mama sent me to fetch eggs from the hen house." Her voice is warm, full of life. "But I was terrified of chickens. They chased me everywhere. So I made a plan." "What plan?" Leah asks. "I put on my daddy's big rubber boots, his raincoat, and my brother's catcher's mask." Grace grins. "I looked ridiculous, but I marched into that hen house like I owned it." Mrs. Russo chuckles. Even I feel a smile pulling at my mouth. "What happened?" Leah asks. "The rooster took one look at me and fell off his perch." Grace laughs. "He never chased me again. But my family teased me for years. Everyone laughs. The sound is strange, unfamiliar, but good. Antonio felt something loosen in his chest. I catch myself smiling. Actually smiling. Leah notices. Her eyes shine. See, Daddy? You can be happy. The words are simple, but they cut deep. Can I? After dinner, Leah whispers to Grace. Grace's eyes fill with tears. She blinks them away quickly. Later, Mrs. Russo tells me what Leah said. You make Daddy smile. I stand at the window in my study. The ocean is dark, restless. 7 days. Now 6. I close my eyes and let the memory of laughter wash over me. The next morning changes everything. Leah wakes with energy. Real energy. Not the frantic, feverish kind, but genuine strength. She walks to the breakfast table without help. She eats 2 whole pieces of toast. She laughs at Mrs. Russo's stories. Dr. Harris comes in the afternoon. He checks her vitals, then checks them again. This doesn't make sense, he says. He looks at the monitor. Her heart rate is stronger. Her oxygen levels are up. What does that mean? I ask. Hope surges through me. Dangerous hope. I don't know, Dr. Harris admits. It could be a temporary surge. The body sometimes, or it could be something else, I interrupt. Dr. Harris meets my eyes. Mr. Morelli, don't get your hopes up too high. These fluctuations happen, but they don't last. But they could. Statistically, I don't care about statistics. My voice rises. My daughter is better. That's what matters. Dr. Harris closes his bag. I'll run more tests next week, but please, be cautious. After he leaves, I find Grace in the kitchen. She's washing dishes, humming. Did you do this? I demand. She turns. Her face is calm. Do what? Leah, she's better. God did it, Grace says simply. Not me. That's impossible. Is it? Grace dries her hands. You saw her this morning. You heard the doctor. It's temporary. A fluke. Maybe. Grace's eyes find mine. Or maybe you should stop being so afraid to hope. The words sting. Because they're true. I leave without responding. That evening I watch Grace from the balcony. She walks to the cliff's edge. The sun is setting. Gold and orange across the water. She kneels. Her hands fold. Her head bows. She's praying again. Thanking someone I don't believe in. But Leah is better. Impossibly better. Antonio's breath caught. I don't know what to think anymore. 2 days later, I find Grace praying beside Leah's bed. Again. Something inside me snaps. Stop, I say. My voice is cold. Hard. Grace looks up. Mr. Morelli? I said stop. I stride into the room. Stop filling her head with false hope. Stop pretending prayer changes anything. I'm not pretending, Grace says. She stands. I'm believing. Your belief is useless. The words pour out. Hot. Angry. It didn't save my wife. It won't save Leah. All you're doing is making it worse when she what? Grace's voice is steady. When she dies? Is that what you can't say? Yes, I shout. When she dies. Because she will. And your prayers won't stop it. Maybe not, Grace says. But they'll give her peace. And that's worth more than you know. Get out, I say. You're fired. Grace's eyes widen. Mr. Morelli, I said get out. Pack your things. Leave. Antonio, please. Now! The sound of my name on her lips stops me, but only for a moment. Grace walks past me. Her face is calm, but I see the hurt in her eyes. The door closes. Silence fills the room. Then I hear it. A small, choked sound. I turn. Leah stands in the doorway of her bathroom. Her face is pale. Stricken. Daddy. No, she whispers. And then she collapses. Everything happens fast. Too fast. I catch Leah before she hits the floor. Her body convulses. Her eyes roll back. Leah! I scream. Leah! Mrs. Russo appears. Then Grace. She rushes past me, her hands steady. Sure. Put her on the bed, Grace commands. Mrs. Russo, call Dr. Harris. Now. I lay Leah down. Her chest heaves. Her hands claw at the air. Grace kneels beside her. She takes Leah's hand. She speaks in a low, calm voice. Breathe, sweetheart. Just breathe. I'm here. You're okay. Grace, Leah gasps. Don't go. I'm not going anywhere. Grace says. Her voice is firm. I promise. I stand frozen. Useless. Watching as Grace does what I cannot. Minutes pass. They feel like hours. Finally, Leah's breathing slows. Her body relaxes. The color returns to her cheeks. Dr. Harris arrives. He examines her quickly, efficiently. She's stable, he says. But she needs rest. Complete rest. He looks at me. His expression is stern. What happened? My voice fails. He fired Grace, Mrs. Russo says quietly. Leah heard. Dr. Harris's jaw tightens. Stress, emotional trauma. This could have killed her. The words land like blows. Antonio felt his chest tighten with shame. Dr. Harris leaves. Mrs. Russo follows. Only Grace and I remain. I'm sorry, I say. The words are inadequate. Pathetic. Grace doesn't answer. She sits beside Leah. Her hand smooths Leah's hair. Please. I try again. Don't go. I wasn't planning to, Grace says. She still doesn't look at me. Not until Leah asks me to. I was wrong, I say. I was angry and scared, and I took it out on you. Grace finally meets my eyes. I know. Will you stay? On one condition. Grace's voice is quiet, firm. No more shouting in the house of the dying. The phrase cuts deep, but I nod. I promise. Grace returns her attention to Leah. The girl sleeps peacefully now, unaware of the storm she caused. I stand there, watching, broken. Outside, dawn breaks. Light spills through the window. Grace's silhouette glows against it, like something holy. I turn away. But not before I see the tears on my own cheeks. The next morning, everything feels different. Grace moves through the house with quiet purpose. She opens curtains. She hums while she works. She brings light into dark corners. I watch from the hallway, uncertain, ashamed of what I said, what I almost destroyed. She catches me staring. Good morning, Mr. Morelli. Antonio, I say. Please. Just Antonio. Something shifts in her expression. A softening. Good morning, Antonio. The sound of my name in her voice feels like forgiveness. Grace establishes a rhythm. Morning walks through the garden with Leah. Afternoon stories by the window. Evening songs before sleep. The mansion fills with sound. Real sound. Not the hollow echoes I've grown used to. I find myself listening for Grace's voice, for Leah's laughter, for the hymns that drift through the hallways. You're hovering, Mrs. Russo says one afternoon. She catches me outside Leah's door. Again. I'm not hovering. You are. Mrs. Russo's smile is gentle. It's good. You should be with her. I don't know how, I admit. The confession surprises me. Then learn, Mrs. Russo says. Grace can teach you. I want to argue, but she's right. That evening, I knock on Leah's door. Grace answers. Can I come in? I ask. Of course. Grace steps aside. Leah is already asleep. The monitor beeps steadily, peacefully. I stand beside her bed. I don't know what to do, where to put my hands. I don't remember the last time I said goodnight to her. I whisper. Grace moves beside me. Her voice is soft. Then start tonight. I look at Leah's sleeping face. She looks so small, so fragile. What if I wake her? You won't. Grace's hand touches my shoulder. Brief, reassuring. Go ahead. I lean down. I brush Leah's hair from her forehead. My lips press against her skin. Good night, sweetheart. I murmur. I love you. Leah stirs. She smiles in her sleep. Antonio's breath caught. Something breaks open inside me. Something I've kept locked for years. Grace sees. She always sees. Come on, she says gently. Let her rest. We leave together. The hallway feels less empty than before. 2 days pass. Leah's health holds steady, better than steady. She walks without tiring. She eats full meals. She asks to paint. Dr. Harris calls it remarkable, unprecedented. I call it a miracle, though I don't say it aloud. Grace suggests something new one morning. Forgiveness letters, she says. We're in the garden. Leah sits on a blanket, painting flowers with watercolors. What? I ask. Letters to people who hurt you, or people you hurt. Grace's voice is calm. Writing them brings peace, and peace helps the heart. That's ridiculous, I say. Is it? Grace looks at me. When's the last time you felt peace? I have no answer. Leah looks up from her painting. I want to try. Leah, I start. Please, Daddy. It sounds nice. I look at Grace. Her eyes find mine. There's a challenge there. Gentle, but real. Fine, I mutter. Leah spends the afternoon writing. Grace helps her spell the harder words. I stay away. I tell myself I'm giving them space. But really, I'm afraid. Afraid of what she'll write. Who she'll forgive. Who she won't. That evening, Grace finds me in my study. She holds a sealed envelope. Leah wanted you to have this, she says. What is it? A letter. To you. My hand trembles as I take it. Antonio felt his chest tighten. Grace leaves me alone. I stare at the envelope for a long time. My name written in Leah's careful handwriting. Finally, I open it. Dear Daddy, I forgive you for being sad all the time. I know it's because Mommy died and I'm sick. But I want you to know it's okay. I'm not sad. Grace says God makes beautiful things from broken things. Maybe you're broken now, but you'll be beautiful again. I love you. Leah. The paper blurs. Tears fall. I can't stop them. Antonio's breath caught again. I fold the letter carefully. I hold it to my chest. That night, I fall asleep in the chair beside Leah's bed. The letter clutched in my hand. Grace finds me there in the morning. She doesn't say anything. She just covers me with a blanket and leaves. The phone rings during lunch. Grace answers. Yes, this is she, Grace says. Her voice changes, becomes formal, careful. I'm fine, Sister Margaret. Yes, I'm still here. I glance up from my newspaper. Grace's face is calm, but something in her posture shifts. Of course, she continues. I'll keep you updated. Thank you for checking. She hangs up. Her hand lingers on the phone. Everything okay? I ask. Just my church, Grace says. They worry when I'm away too long. How long have you been here? 4 days. It feels longer. The words slip out. I don't mean them the way they sound. Grace smiles. A small, sad smile. Time moves differently in places like this. What do you mean? Places where people are dying. Her voice is soft. Every moment counts more. There's something in her tone. Something old. Painful. You've done this before, I say. It's not a question. Yes. Grace moves to the window. I cared for my mother when she had cancer. And my aunt. And... She stops. Her shoulders tense. And? I prompt. And others. Grace's voice is quiet. Distant. People I loved. I want to ask more. But something tells me to wait. Grace turns. Her smile returns. But it doesn't reach her eyes. I should check on Leah, she says. And then she's gone. That night, I can't sleep. I wander the house, restless. I find myself outside Grace's room. The door is slightly open. Light spills into the hallway. I shouldn't look, but I do. Grace sits on her bed. She holds a photograph. Her fingers trace the edges. Tears stream down her face. She's crying, silently, completely. I've never seen her cry before. I knock softly. Grace jumps. She wipes her eyes quickly. I'm sorry, I say. I didn't mean to intrude. It's okay. Grace's voice is thick. I was just remembering. I step inside. Can I ask who? Grace looks at the photograph, then at me. She holds it out. I take it. A teenage boy stares back at me. 16, maybe 17. He has Grace's eyes, her smile. My son, Grace says. Marcus. Antonio felt something cold settle in his stomach. What happened? I ask, though part of me already knows. He was shot, Grace says. The words are flat, empty. 5 years ago, wrong place, wrong time, a gang shooting in Atlanta. The room tilts. Gang shooting, Atlanta, 5 years ago. I know that shooting. I remember it. My family was expanding territory. We had operations in Georgia. Drugs, extortion, protection. There was an incident. A botched deal. Gunfire. Civilians caught in the crossfire. I'm sorry, I whisper. The words are worthless. He was walking home from church. Grace continues. Youth group. He was going to be a doctor. He wanted to help people. Her voice breaks. She covers her face with her hands. I stand frozen, useless, knowing I might be responsible, knowing I probably am. Grace, I blamed God for a long time, she says. She lowers her hands. I screamed at him, cursed him, asked him why he let evil men destroy my baby. Evil men. men like me. How did you stop? I ask. My voice barely works. I didn't stop asking why. Grace looks at me. Her eyes are red, raw. But I learned to forgive, because holding on to hate was killing me. And Marcus wouldn't want that. You forgave them? The men who killed him? Yes. Grace's voice is certain, unshakable. All of them. The weight of her words crushes me. I hand back the photograph. I leave without another word. In my room, I stand at the window. The ocean rages below, dark and violent. Could it be? Could I be the reason her son died? The dates match. The location matches. The circumstances match. Antonio's chest tightened with something worse than fear. Guilt. Pure and absolute. I grip the windowsill. My hands shake. If she knew who I really was, what I did, she'd never forgive me. Not really, not fully. I close my eyes, but all I see is that photograph, that boy with Grace's smile. The next morning, Marco arrives. I haven't seen him in 3 years. Not since I left the life. He looks the same, hard, suspicious, dangerous. We need to talk, Marco says. He doesn't ask permission. He walks past me into my study. I close the door. What are you doing here? Santoro knows where you are, Marco says bluntly. The name hits like a punch. Santoro. My oldest enemy. The man I betrayed when I left. That's impossible. I covered my tracks. Not well enough. Marco leans against my desk. He's been asking questions. Paying informants. He knows about the house. About Leah. Antonio felt his chest tighten with rage. If he comes near her, that's why I'm here. Marco cuts me off. You need protection. Let me bring in some guys. Just a few. For security. No, Antonio. I said no. My voice is steel. I'm done with that life. I won't bring it near my daughter. Your daughter is dying, Marco says. His voice is cruel, intentional. Santoro won't wait for nature to take its course. He wants revenge. Get out. You're being stupid. Stubborn. I said get out, I shout. The door opens. Grace stands there. Her face is calm but alert. Is everything okay? She asks. Marco looks at her, then at me. Something calculating crosses his face. Who's this? The housekeeper, I say quickly. She's leaving. I'm not leaving, Grace says. Her eyes find mine. Not if you need help. I don't need help. I move toward the door. Marco was just going. Marco studies Grace for another moment. Then he nods. Think about what I said. He tells me. Santoro won't forget. And he won't forgive. He leaves. The front door slams. Grace crosses the room. Who was that? Nobody, I lie. Antonio. Her voice is firm. Who was that? I turn away. Someone from my past. Someone I'm trying to forget. What did he want? To pull me back in. The admission feels dangerous. To make me into something I'm not anymore. And are you? Grace asks. Still that person? I look at her. Really look at her. This woman who lost her son, who forgave his killers, who stays beside my dying daughter with endless patience. No, I say. I'm not. Not anymore. Grace nods. She believes me. Antonio felt something loosen in his chest, but the guilt remains. Heavy, suffocating. The next day is brilliant. Clear skies, warm sun, perfect. Leah asks to see the ocean. Really see it. Up close. Can we, Daddy? Her face is hopeful, eager. Please? I look at Grace. She nods slightly. Tomorrow, I promise. We'll go tomorrow, no matter what. Leah's smile could light the world. Morning comes gentle, golden. We walk down the cliff path together. Grace pushes Leah's wheelchair. I carry a blanket and towels. The beach is empty. Private. Mine. We set up near the water's edge. Leah insists on walking. Grace helps her stand, and then my daughter runs. Not fast. Not far. But she runs. Her feet splash in the shallow waves. Her laughter echoes off the rocks. Her face glows with pure joy. Antonio's breath caught yet again. I join her. The water is cold. The sand is rough. I don't care. I take Leah's hand. We stand together. Waves wash over our feet. This is perfect, Leah whispers. Thank you, Daddy. Anything for you? I say. I mean it. Grace watches from the blanket. She smiles. Her eyes are bright, For one moment, everything is perfect, peaceful, right? We stay for hours. We build sandcastles. We collect shells. We watch the gulls circle overhead. On the walk back, Leah holds both our hands, mine and Grace's. "This is my best day ever," she says. I look at Grace over Leah's head. Her eyes find mine. Something passes between us, something unspoken but real. "How do you do it?" I ask quietly. "Stay so calm, so faithful, after everything you've lost." Grace is quiet for a long moment. Then she says, "Because I forgave the man who killed my son." The words stop me cold. "How?" I ask. My voice barely works. "I had to," Grace says, "or I'd never be free. Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for us." We reach the house. Leah is tired but happy. Grace takes her inside for a bath. I stand in the garden, staring at nothing, seeing everything. She forgave them. The men who killed Marcus. Men like me. Maybe even me. Antonio felt his chest tighten with unbearable weight. That night I find Grace in the kitchen. She's making tea. "We need to talk," I say. Grace looks up. She sees my face. She knows. "Sit," she says gently. I do. My hands shake. "You know who I am," I say. It's not a question. "Yes." Grace pours 2 cups of tea. "I've known since the first day." The world tilts. "How?" "Your name? Your face? The newspapers." Grace sits across from me. "I recognized you. And you stayed anyway?" "Yes." "Why?" I demand. "If you knew what I was, what I did, why would you come here?" Grace's eyes find mine. Steady, unflinching. "Because I forgave you years ago." The words make no sense. "You didn't know me years ago." "I forgave all of you," Grace says. Her voice is soft. "Every man involved in Marcus's death. Every single one. Including you." "You don't know I was involved," I say desperately. "It could have been." "Your gang controlled that territory," Grace interrupts. "Your men were there that night. I read the reports, the testimony. I know." Antonio felt his breath catch again. "Then why?" My voice breaks. "Why come here? Why help Leah? Why help me?" "Because holding on to hate was destroying me," Grace says. "And because God asked me to." "God." "Yes." Grace's voice is certain. "He showed me your name, your daughter's condition, and he asked me to go, to help her find peace, and to help you find redemption." I stand. The chair scrapes loudly. "I don't deserve redemption." "None of us do," Grace says. "That's the point." I pace the kitchen. My mind races. She knows. She knows everything. And she stayed. "I'm sorry," I say. The words are pathetic, inadequate. "I'm so sorry about Marcus. About everything. I'd take it back if I could." I know," Grace says. Her voice is gentle. "I believe you. How can you forgive me?" I turn to face her. "How is that possible?" Grace stands. She crosses to me. She takes my hands in hers. "Because unforgiveness is a prison," she says. "And I refuse to let evil men keep me caged. Not anymore." Her hands are warm, steady, real. "You came here to heal me," I whisper. "I came here to heal us both," Grace corrects. "And to give Leah peace before she goes home." Home. Heaven. The place I don't believe in. Or didn't. Until now. I pull my hands away. I walk to the sink. I stare out the dark window. "I don't know how to be what she needs," I say. "What you both need. You're already becoming it," Grace says. "Every day, every choice." "It's not enough." "Maybe not." Grace moves beside me. "But it's a start." We stand together in silence. The kitchen clock ticks. The refrigerator hums. "Thank you," I finally say. "For staying. For everything." "You're welcome," Grace says. Her voice is warm. "Now go say goodnight to your daughter." I do. 2 days later, Grace suggests a party. A celebration of Leah's life. She should have joy, Grace says. While she can, I want to refuse. Parties feel wrong, premature. But Leah's face lights up when Grace mentions it. "Really?" Leah asks. "A party for me?" "Your birthday came and went while you were sick," Grace says. "Let's celebrate now." "Can we invite everyone?" Leah asks. "Mrs. Russo and the gardener and the people from town?" "Everyone," Grace promises. I can't say no. Not to that smile. The party is small. 20 people in the garden. Simple decorations. balloons, streamers, a cake. Leah wears her favorite dress, yellow with white flowers. She looks radiant. People come, they bring gifts, they tell stories, they laugh. Leah dances, actually dances. Grace holds her hands. They sway to soft music. I watch from the terrace. Mrs. Russo joins me. "This is good," she says. Her voice is thick. "This is what she deserves." "Grace did this," I say. "Grace helped," Mrs. Russo corrects. "But you allowed it. That matters too." Maybe she's right. I descend the steps. I approach Leah and Grace. "May I?" I ask. Leah's face glows. "Yes." I take Grace's place. Leah's hands are small in mine. We turn slowly, carefully. "I love you, Daddy," Leah says. "I love you too, sweetheart." Antonio felt his chest tighten with joy and grief, more than anything. Over Leah's head, I see Grace. She's crying, but she's smiling too. "You've done the impossible," I mouth to her. She shakes her head. "God did," she mouths back. The sun sets. The party winds down. People leave with hugs and tears and promises. Leah falls asleep in my arms. Exhausted but happy, I carry her inside. Grace follows. Together we put her to bed. We tuck her in. We whisper goodnight. In the hallway, Grace touches my arm. "Thank you," she says, "for giving her this." "Thank you," I counter, "for showing me how." We stand close, too close, but neither of us moves away. "Grace?" I start. A sound interrupts, a small gasp from Leah's room. We both rush in. Leah is awake. Her face is pale. Her breathing is labored. "Daddy," she whispers. Something's wrong. Terror grips me. What? What hurts? Everything. Tears stream down her face. I can't breathe right. Grace moves quickly. She checks Leah's pulse, her color, the monitor. "Call doctor." "Harris?" Grace says. Her voice is urgent. "Now!" I run. I call. Dr. Harris promises to come immediately. I return to Leah's room. Grace holds her hand, speaking softly, calmly. "You're okay. Just breathe. In and out. Slow and steady." But Leah isn't okay. She's worse. Much worse. Dr. Harris arrives. He examines her quickly. His face is grim. "Her heart is failing," he says. "The improvement was temporary. Her body can't sustain this." "Do something," I shout. "There's nothing to do." "Doctor," Harris says. His voice is gentle, sad. "Make her comfortable. That's all we can do now." He leaves medication, instructions, condolences. Then he's gone, and we're alone. Grace, Leah, me. "I don't want to die," Leah whispers. "I'm scared." "I know, baby." I take her other hand. "I know. Will it hurt?" "No," Grace says firmly. "It won't hurt. You'll just fall asleep. And when you wake up, you'll be home. With Mommy?" "Yes, with Mommy." Leah closes her eyes. "Will you stay? Both of you?" "Always," I promise. Grace begins to sing, a hymn, low and sweet. Leah hums along, weakly, but there. Hours pass. The night deepens. Leah's breathing becomes more labored. I can't watch this. I can't sit here and do nothing. I stand. I stumble to the door. "Where are you going?" Grace asks. "I don't know." My voice cracks. "Anywhere. I can't watch her die." "Antonio!" "No!" I shout. "This isn't fair. She's 10 years old. She did nothing wrong. Why won't he save her? Why?" Grace stands. She crosses to me. She takes my face in her hands. "Because some things are beyond our understanding," she says. "But not beyond his love." "I don't believe that." "Then believe me," Grace says. "Trust me. Just this once." But I can't. I can't stay in that room. I can't watch my daughter fade. I push past Grace. I run down the stairs. Out the door. Into the night. Rain begins to fall. Heavy and cold. I run to the cliff's edge. I fall to my knees. I scream at the sky. "If you're real, if you're there, do something. Save her. Please. Take me instead. Take anything. Just save her." Lightning splits the clouds. Thunder roars. No answer comes. I collapse on the wet grass. Sobbing. Broken. Antonio felt everything inside him shatter. The rain soaks through my clothes. The thunder fades. The storm passes. But I don't move. I can't. All I can do is weep and wait and hope for a mercy I don't deserve. Dawn finds me still on the grass. Grace's hand on my shoulder. Come inside, she says softly. Leah's asking for you. I struggle to my feet. My clothes are soaked. My body aches. But I follow her. The house is quiet. Too quiet. We climb the stairs. Each step feels impossible. Heavy. Leah's room glows with morning light. She lies propped against pillows. Her face is pale, peaceful. She smiles when she sees me. Daddy, you're all wet. I was outside, I say. My voice is hoarse. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have left. It's okay. Leah holds out her hand. Come sit. I cross to her bed. I take her hand. It feels cold, too cold. Antonio felt his chest tighten with fear. I had a dream, Leah says. Her voice is soft, distant. Mommy was there. She said everything's going to be okay. That's good, sweetheart. She said to tell you something. Leah's eyes find mine. She said you're allowed to be happy again, that she wants you to be. The words break something inside me. Fresh tears come. I don't know how to be happy without you, I whisper. You'll learn, Leah says. She squeezes my hand. Weak but real. Grace will help you. Grace sits on the other side of the bed. She takes Leah's other hand. Are you scared? I ask. A little, Leah admits. But mostly I'm just tired. Then rest, Grace says. Her voice is gentle. We're here. Leah's eyes close. Grace begins to hum. That same hymn. Low and sweet. Leah hums along. Her voice is barely audible. But there. The sun rises higher. Light fills the room. Warm and golden. Daddy, Leah whispers. It's okay to rest now. What do you mean? You don't have to be strong anymore. Her breathing slows. You can let go. No, I say. No, baby. Stay with me. Please. I love you. Her words are faint, fading. Tell Grace I love her too. I will. I promise. Leah's breathing becomes shallow, then slower. Then, Grace's voice continues. Steady, sure, like an anchor. I hold Leah's hand. I watch her face. She looks peaceful, almost happy. One more breath, then another. Then, silence. Antonio's breath caught. The monitor flatlines. The sound pierces the stillness. Grace reaches over. She turns it off. The silence deepens. She's home, Grace whispers. I can't speak, can't move, can't breathe. My daughter is gone. Morning light continues to fill the room. Indifferent. Beautiful. The staff comes quietly. Mrs. Russo weeps openly. The gardener removes his cap. Grace gently covers Leah with a white shawl. She closes her eyes. She says a prayer. I sit motionless, numb, empty. Antonio, Grace says, you should say goodbye. I can't. You must. Her voice is firm, kind. For both of you. I lean forward. I kiss Leah's forehead. It's already cooling. Goodbye, baby girl. I whisper. Thank you. For everything. The words are inadequate. Useless. But they're all I have. Grace touches my shoulder. Come, let's give them space to prepare her. I don't want to leave, but my legs move anyway. In the hallway, I collapse. My back against the wall. My head in my hands. Grace sits beside me. She doesn't speak. She just stays. Time passes. Minutes. Hours. I don't know. Finally, I look at her. What do I do now? You grieve, Grace says. And then you live. I don't know how. You'll learn. Her eyes find mine. You're stronger than you think. I want to believe her, but I feel nothing but emptiness. The afternoon brings Dr. Harris. He signs the necessary papers. He offers condolences. He leaves. Funeral arrangements must be made. Phone calls. Decisions. I can't do it. I sit in my study, staring at nothing. Grace handles everything. She calls the funeral home. She speaks with the priest. She chooses flowers. Mrs. Russo brings me soup. I don't eat it. You must eat something, she says. Her eyes are red, swollen. I'm not hungry. Leah wouldn't want you to stop living. The words are meant kindly, but they hurt anyway. Leave me alone, I say. Mrs. Russo leaves. The soup grows cold. That evening, Grace knocks on my study door. She enters without waiting. I found something, she says. She holds an envelope. On Leah's nightstand. My name is written on it. In Leah's careful handwriting. Antonio felt something twist in his chest. She left a letter? My voice barely works. Yes. Grace hands it to me. I'll give you privacy. No. I stop her. Stay. Please. Grace sits. Her hands fold in her lap. I open the envelope. My hands shake. Inside is a single sheet of paper. Leah's writing covers it. Neat and careful. Dear Daddy, I'm not scared anymore. I wanted to tell you that. Grace helped me understand that dying isn't the end. It's just going home. God gave me 1 more week. At first I thought it was to get better, but now I know the truth. He gave me 1 week to fix your heart. You've been sad for so long. Since Mommy died. Since I got sick. I wanted you to smile again. To laugh. To be happy. Grace helped with that. She's special. I think God sent her just for us. Now you can smile again. You can live. You can be the daddy you were before everything went wrong. I'll be with Mommy. We'll watch over you. And when it's your turn to come home, we'll be waiting. I love you forever and always. Leah. The paper blurs. Tears fall. I can't stop them. Antonio's breath caught again. Grace moves beside me. She reads over my shoulder. Her own tears fall. She knew. I whisper. She knew the whole time. Yes, Grace says. She was saying goodbye. In her own way. I clutch the letter. My tears fall on the paper, smudging the ink. She wanted to fix my heart, I say. How can she fix something that's breaking? Because love doesn't break, Grace says. It transforms. It grows. It becomes something new. I turn to her. This woman who lost her son, who forgave his killers, who stayed beside my daughter until the end. I don't know how to do this without her, I say. You don't have to do it alone. Grace's eyes find mine. I'm here, for as long as you need. Something shifts in her expression. Soft. Open. I reach for her hand. She lets me take it. We sit together, holding Leah's letter, holding each other's hands, holding on to hope we don't quite feel yet. The silence stretches between us. But it's not empty. It's full of understanding, of shared grief, of something deeper. The next day brings preparations. Grace packs Leah's favorite things. Her yellow dress, her stuffed rabbit, the painting she made of flowers. She should have these, Grace says. For the viewing. I can't watch. I leave the house. I walk the grounds. The garden Leah planted is blooming. Marigolds, zinnias, sunflowers, bright and alive. She never got to see them fully grown, but they're here, beautiful, impossible. Antonio felt his chest tighten with grief and wonder. I kneel beside them. I touch the petals. They're soft, real. You did it, baby girl, I whisper. Your garden grew. The wind moves through the flowers. Like an answer. That afternoon, Grace finds me still in the garden. She sits beside me. She doesn't speak. We stay like that for a long time. Just sitting, just being. I'm leaving after the memorial, Grace finally says. My job here is done. The words hit hard. Unexpected. You're leaving? That was always the plan, Grace says. Her voice is gentle. I came to help Leah, to help you. But now, stay, I interrupt. The word comes out desperate. Please, stay until after. Until I can what? Function? Breathe? Live? Grace's eyes find mine. Okay, I'll stay a little longer. Relief floods through me. Thank you. But Antonio, Grace's voice is serious. You need to understand something. I can't fix you. I can help. I can support. But healing has to come from you. I know. Do you? She searches my face. Because you're looking at me like I'm your salvation. And I'm not. I'm just a woman who's trying to help. Her honesty cuts. But it's what I need. You remind me of my wife, I say quietly. Maria. She was kind like you. Patient. Strong. Grace smiles. Small. Sad. Then she must have been a remarkable woman. She was. I look back at the flowers. She would have liked you. I think I would have liked her too. We sit together as the sun sets. The sky turns orange, then pink, then purple. Will you help me plan the memorial? I ask. Of course, Grace says. That's what she would have wanted. The next few days pass in a blur. People come. They bring food, flowers, sympathy. I accept it all numbly, going through motions, saying the right things. But inside, I'm hollow, empty. Grace stays close. She handles visitors. She manages details. She keeps me afloat. Mrs. Russo watches us. Her expression is knowing, sad, hopeful. She's good for you, Mrs. Russo says one morning. Grace, I know. Don't let her go. Mrs. Russo's voice is firm. Not if you can help it. She has her own life, I say. I can't ask her to stay. Why not? Mrs. Russo challenges. What do you have to lose? Everything. Nothing. I don't know anymore. The memorial is small, intimate, held in our garden, where Leah's flowers bloom. 30 people gather, family, friends, neighbors. A simple casket sits surrounded by white roses. Leah looks peaceful inside, beautiful, like she's sleeping. The priest speaks, words about heaven, peace, God's love. I barely hear him. I just stare at my daughter's face. When it's my turn to speak, I almost can't. My legs shake, my voice fails. But Grace touches my arm. She nods, encouraging. I step forward. I look at the faces gathered. My daughter taught me something in her last week. I begin. My voice is rough, uncertain. She taught me that love is stronger than death, that forgiveness is more powerful than hate, that hope can exist even in darkness. Antonio's breath caught. I'm not a good man, I continue. I've done terrible things, hurt people, destroyed lives. But Leah saw something in me worth saving, and she sent someone to help me find it. I look at Grace. Her eyes fill with tears. Grace Daniels lost her son 5 years ago. To violence, to evil, to men like I used to be. The confession hangs in the air. But she came here anyway. She helped my daughter. She helped me. Because she understands something I'm only beginning to learn. I pause. Swallow. Continue. Forgiveness sets us free. Love transforms us. And even in our darkest moments, God doesn't give up on us. The words feel strange, foreign, but true. Leah wanted me to smile again, to live again. So that's what I'm going to do. In her honor. In her memory. I'm going to be the man she believed I could be. I step back. My legs nearly give out. But Grace is there, supporting me, steadying me. The service ends. People release white doves. They rise into the clear sky, circling, soaring. One lands on Leah's favorite patch of sunflowers. Antonio felt something loosen in his chest. Just slightly. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe it's coincidence. But it feels like goodbye. That evening, after everyone leaves, Grace and I sit in the study, a bottle of wine between us. Neither of us drinking much. I've made a decision, I say. Grace looks up. What kind of decision? I'm selling everything. The businesses, the properties, everything. I lean forward. And I'm using the money to build something. A children's home. For sick kids. Kids like Leah. Grace's eyes widen. Antonio. I want to call it the Leah Morelli Children's Home. My voice gains strength. And I want you to run it. Silence stretches between us. Me? Grace asks. Her voice is soft, uncertain. You. I hold her gaze. You understand loss. You understand healing. You're exactly what those children need. I'm not qualified. You're the most qualified person I know. I interrupt. You helped Leah find peace. You helped me find hope. You can help others do the same. Grace's hands tremble. She sets down her wine glass. This is a big decision, she says. You should think about it longer. I have thought about it. I move closer. Leah's life meant something. It changed me. Now I want it to change others. Will you help me do that? Her eyes find mine. Something shifts in her expression. Wonder, hope, fear. Yes, she whispers. I'll help you. Relief floods through me. Thank you. We sit together, looking out at the ocean, the same view where storms once raged. But tonight the water is calm, peaceful, like glass. She would be proud of you, Grace says softly. I hope so. Antonio felt his chest tighten. I'm trying. I know. Grace's hand finds mine. That's all any of us can do. Months pass. Slowly, painfully, beautifully. The foundation for the children's home is laid. Construction begins. Workers come daily. The building rises from empty land. I volunteer, every day, helping where I can, learning, growing. My hair turns grayer. My body grows leaner. But something inside me changes, softens, heals. Grace oversees everything. She's remarkable, organized, compassionate, strong. She wears a nurse's badge now. Official, earned. We work together, side by side. Sometimes we talk about Leah, sometimes we don't. But she's always there, between us. connecting us. One afternoon, I find Grace at Leah's memorial plaque. It sits in the garden. Bronze, beautiful, simple. Leah, Maria, Morelli, beloved daughter. Her love changed the world. Grace traces the letters with her fingers. Gentle, reverent. Do you miss her? I ask. Every day, Grace says. She doesn't look up. But I'm grateful too, for the time we had. Me too. I kneel beside the plaque. I kept my promise, Leah. I'm trying to be better, to do better. The flowers around the memorial bloom brightly. Yellow, orange, purple. Grace's hand touches my shoulder. She knows. Wherever she is, she knows. I look up at her. This woman who saved me, who stayed, who believed. Thank you, I say, for everything. You're welcome. Grace smiles. Now come on. We have work to do. She helps me stand. We walk back toward the construction site. Together. Children's voices drift from the nearby playground. Laughter, joy, life. The sound fills something inside me. Something that was empty for so long. Antonio felt something shift in his chest. Not pain, not grief, but hope. Real hope. Lasting hope. 6 months later, the Leah Morelli Children's Home opens. A ribbon-cutting ceremony. Local news. Dozens of people. The building is beautiful, modern, warm, full of light. Inside, rooms are prepared. Medical equipment stands ready. Staff members wait eagerly. The first child arrives that afternoon. A little girl, 7 years old, terminal cancer. Her name is Sophie. She has Grace's smile, Leah's courage. Grace kneels beside her wheelchair. Welcome home, sweetheart. We're so glad you're here. Sophie looks around, her eyes wide, hopeful. It's beautiful. It is, Grace agrees. And it's all for you, and other kids like you. I watch from the doorway, my chest tight with emotion. This is what Leah wanted. What she died for, what she lived for. Antonio's breath caught one final time. Grace sees me. She smiles, full, genuine, happy. I smile back, really smile, from somewhere deep inside. Mrs. Russo was right. Grace is good for me, good for this, good for everything. Evening comes. The staff goes home. Sophie is settled in her room, sleeping peacefully. Grace and I walk through the empty halls, checking, observing, grateful. This is just the beginning, Grace says. There's so much more to do. I know, I say, but it's a good beginning. It is. Grace stops. She looks at me. Her eyes find mine. You did this, Antonio. You changed everything. We did this, I correct. Together. Grace's smile softens. Something passes between us. Something unspoken, but real. I should go, she says. It's late. Stay, I say. The word comes out before I can stop it. I mean, not here, but in town, nearby. There's so much work left, and I can't finish. Can't say what I really mean. Grace understands anyway. She always does. I'll stay, she says softly, for as long as you need. Thank you. We leave together. The night is clear. Stars fill the sky, brilliant and endless. I think about Leah, up there somewhere, watching, smiling, and I know, deep in my bones, she's proud. Time moves forward. The home fills with children, 10, 20, 30. Each one brings their own story, their own pain, their own hope. Grace loves them all, perfectly, completely. I help where I can, reading stories, playing games, just being present. One morning, a boy asks me about Leah. Who was she? He wants to know. I show him her picture, her garden, her memorial plaque. She was my daughter, I say. She was brave, kind, full of love, and she taught me how to be a better person. How? The boy asks. By believing in me, I say simply. Even when I didn't believe in myself. The boy thinks about this. Then he says, like Grace believes in us? Exactly like that. The boy smiles. Grace is the best. She is, I agree. She really is. Years pass. 2, 3, 5. The garden grows wild and beautiful. Leah's flowers spread, taking over, creating life. I'm older now, grayer, slower, but at peace. Grace remains, constant, steady, irreplaceable. We never speak about what exists between us, the unspoken thing, the deep connection, but it's there, in every shared glance, every quiet moment, every decision made together. One morning, I find her in the garden, tending Leah's memorial, like she does every week. "Good morning," I say. "Good morning." Grace straightens. Her back aches. I can tell, but she doesn't complain. "Let me help." I kneel beside her. Together, we pull weeds, plant new flowers, water the old ones. "Do you ever regret it?" I ask. "Staying here, giving up your life in Georgia?" "Never," Grace says. Her voice is certain. "This is where I'm meant to be." "Why?" Grace pauses. She looks at me. Her eyes find mine. "Because Marcus's death had to mean something, and helping these children, helping you, makes it mean something." The honesty breaks me open. Again. Always. "He would be proud of you," I say. "Maybe." Grace's smile is sad, hopeful. "I'd like to think so." "I know so." We finish our work. We stand. The garden surrounds us. Alive. Vibrant. Eternal. A child's laughter drifts from the home. Then another. Then a chorus. The sound fills the air. Beautiful. Perfect. Right. "Leah did this," I say quietly. "She healed me. She started it," Grace says. "But you finished it." I look at her. Really look at her. This woman who gave up everything. Who stayed. Who loved. "Thank you," I whisper. "For everything." Grace's hand finds mine. She squeezes gently. "You're welcome. Now come on. Those kids are waiting." We walk back together. Through the garden. Past the memorial. Toward the laughter. The sun shines overhead. Warm. Bright. Full of promise. And for the first time in years, I feel it. Really feel it. Peace. I'm standing in Leah's garden when I realize it. 3 years after her death. 4 years after Grace arrived. I'm happy. Not the wild, careless happiness of before. Before Maria died. Before Leah got sick. Before I knew what loss meant. No. This is different. Deeper. Quieter. This is peace that comes from choosing love over hate. Hope over despair. Life over death. 6 months later, everything changes again. The home expands. A new wing. More beds. More children. Grace leads the effort. She's tireless. Brilliant. Beloved. I watch her with the children. How she knows each name. Each story. Each fear. She loves them the way she loved Leah. Completely. Unconditionally. Perfectly. And somewhere along the way, I fell in love with her. I don't tell her. Not yet. Maybe not ever. But it's there. In how I make her coffee exactly right every morning. In how I stay late to help with paperwork. In how I notice when she's tired and send her home. It's enough. For now. Life settles into a beautiful routine. Morning rounds with the children. Afternoon planning sessions. Evening walks through Leah's garden. Grace and I fall into rhythm. Partners. Friends. Something more neither of us names. One evening, she finds me at Leah's memorial. I come here often. To talk. To remember. To thank her. "She'd be so proud of you," Grace says. She sits beside me. "Of this. Of everything." "I hope so." I touch the bronze plaque. I did what she asked. I'm smiling again. "You are." Grace's voice is warm. "And it looks good on you." I laugh. Actual laughter. It feels good. Right. "Grace," I say. The words come before I can stop them. "What happens when this is over? When the work is done?" "The work is never done," Grace says. "There's always another child, another family, another heart to heal." "But what about your heart?" I turn to her. "Who heals you?" Grace is quiet. Her eyes shimmer. "You do. This does. Every day. Something shifts between us. The air grows thick. Charged. "I don't want you to leave," I say. "Ever." "I'm not going anywhere," Grace promises. "I'm home. Home." The word wraps around us. Warm. True. We sit together as the sun sets. The sky turns gold, then pink, then deep blue. Children's voices drift from the home. Dinner, laughter, bedtime stories beginning. This is what Leah wanted. This is what she gave her last week for. Not to save herself, but to save me. Antonio felt his chest fill with gratitude. "Thank you," I whisper. "To Leah, to God, to Grace, to everyone who brought me here." Grace's hand finds mine. She holds it. Gentle. "Sure. You're welcome." she says softly. Now come on, let's go home. We stand. We walk back through the garden, past blooming flowers, under starlit sky. The home glows with light, warm, welcoming, alive. Inside, children wait. Staff members work. Life continues. Grace and I enter together, side by side. I look at her. She smiles. We are finally home.